Lost in the heart of the Bermuda Triangle, ships vanish without a trace. The identity of Jack the Ripper continues to elude us. In the icy wilderness of the Dyatlov Pass, 9 hikers met a mysterious end. These are all the puzzles that have gripped our imagination for decades. Some clues have been lost to time, while others are too vague to offer clear answers. The intrigue only deepens as we ponder these enigmas. Today, we delve into 10 historical mysteries that remain unsolved to this day. Stay with us until the end to explore each one. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, is like the horror movie hotspot of the ocean. Located between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico, it's a vast, spooky area where ships and planes just vanish without a trace, making it the ultimate oceanic haunted house. The story starts way back with Christopher Columbus, who saw a mysterious fireball crash into the sea there. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the Navy ship USS Cyclops, with over 300 people aboard, disappeared without a whisper. The latest horror happened in 2021 when a small plane vanished, leaving only debris behind. So what's the deal with this creepy place? Theories range from alien abductions and paranormal activity to strange magnetic fields and the lost city of Atlantis messing with navigational equipment. Some say it's all due to time tunnels or trapped methane gas. Whether it's aliens, sea monsters, or just real bad luck, the Bermuda Triangle keeps its dark secrets well hidden, making it the ultimate maritime mystery. Ready to set sail? Just make sure your wheel is up to date. Imagine a dusty old book that's more mysterious than any horror movie you've ever seen. It's called the Voynich Manuscript, the holy grail of all artifacts, a 240-page book written in the 15th century. But here's the creepy part. No one can read it. The pages are filled with strange drawings of weird planets, bizarre charts, and pools of green liquid. Even worse, the words are written in a completely unknown alphabet. Was it written by a secret society, an ancient wizard, or maybe it's just a crazy joke? Scientists have found some patterns in the writing, but nothing makes sense. It's like trying to read a book written by a ghost. People are trying to crack the code using powerful computers, much like they did to solve the Zodiac Killer's letters in 2021. But who knows what will happen if they finally decode it? Maybe it's a recipe for eternal youth, or maybe it's a really old shopping list, or maybe it's a spell to summon your spirit out of your body. 1888 was a bad year to be a prostitute. Between August 7th and November 10th of that year, 5 women were killed in Whitechapel district of London's East End, their throats slashed and their bodies mutilated in a way that indicated they all met their fates at the hands of the same person. One victim's kidney was even mailed to the police, along with a series of taunting notes penned by someone calling himself Jack the Ripper. Serial murder was a relatively new phenomenon, and attacks were highly publicized. The law's failure to identify the killer led to such an outcry that both the Home Secretary and London Police Commissioner resigned in disgrace. Over the years, many have tried to uncover the Ripper's true identity. Some say it was a member of the royal family. Others believe it was a secret Masonic plot. Yet, the Ripper's true identity remains a dark and terrifying mystery. Once upon a dark August night in 1587, a group of 115 English settlers ventured to Roanoke Island, off the coast of what we now call North Carolina, aiming to create the first permanent English colony in the New World. Their earlier attempt had failed. Nevertheless, hope was high. But soon, an eerie twist began to unfold. John White, the colony's governor, sailed back to England for supplies. However, a massive war between England and Spain erupted, forcing Queen Elizabeth I to call every available ship to battle. Poor White was trapped in England for 3 long years. 3 years later, in August 1590, John White returned. What he found was terrifying. The entire colony had vanished without a trace. No settlers, no signs of struggle, nothing, except for one cryptic word carved into a post, Croatan. And thus, the horror of the lost colony of Roanoke began. Investigations over the years have uncovered no clear answers. Did the Native American tribe in the nearby Crowtown Island kill or abduct them? Did they try to sail back to England and perish at sea? Were they massacred by the Spaniards from Florida, or did they merge into another tribe? In 2007, a new twist emerged. Scientists began collecting and analyzing DNA from local families, hoping to find a link to the Roanoke settlers or Native American tribes. Despite these efforts, the mystery remains unsolved. For most of 1969, a serial killer terrorized Bay Area residents, killing 5 and possibly more. It started on December 20th, 1968, when a couple was shot to death while sitting in a car on a lover's lane. The killer would strike several more times over the next 10 months, shooting a couple in a public park, trussing up and stabbing yet another man and woman near a peaceful lake, and shooting a cab driver in the head. What made the case so fascinating, though, was the way he toyed with police and reporters. He called in several of the murders and began to send coded letters to newspapers, using a cross within a circle as his symbol. One of his encrypted letters sent to San Francisco newspapers reads, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." At one point, he mailed a piece of a bloodied shirt to prove he was who he claimed to be. Another time, he threatened to shoot up a school bus full of children. The investigation went on for years. Several suspects were considered and questioned, but to no avail. The Zodiac was never caught. The story continues to terrorize people to this day. The Mary Celeste was a cursed ship from the moment it was launched. Originally named the Amazon, it was plagued by misfortune, a captain who died of pneumonia, a grounding, and a collision. The ship's dark history only grew darker when it was renamed the Mary Celeste. In 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York carrying a cargo of an industrial alcohol, but something sinister was lurking in the shadows of that fateful voyage. As the ship drifted alone on the open ocean, the crew vanished without a trace, as if swallowed whole by the unforgiving ocean. What happened to the doomed souls aboard the Mary Celeste? Was it a kraken, a ghost, or something even more terrifying? The ship was found adrift, its lifeboat missing, and the last log entry dated 10 days prior. The captain's and crew's personal belongings remained undisturbed, as if they had simply vanished into thin air. Theories abound. Was it a supernatural rift, a mutiny, or something even more horrifying? The Mary Celeste had become a true ghost ship, a vessel of the damned, sailing the seas with no living crew to guide it. Perhaps the crew's spirits still linger, doomed to wander the decks for eternity. In the icy Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia, a group of 9 experienced hikers ventured into the wilderness, never to be seen alive again. Led by Igor Dyatlov, the trekking party set up camp on the slopes of Kalat Syakhl, a mountain that would soon be forever haunted by their tragic fate. As the hikers slept, something in the darkness stirred. A malevolent presence, perhaps the vengeful spirit of an ancient Siberian shaman, crept through the snow. The hikers awoke with a start, sensing they were not alone. Suddenly, a terrible force attacked the tent, ripping through the fabric like claws through paper. The hikers panicked, grabbing whatever clothes they could before fleeing into the night. Their headless snowman sentries stood watch as the group scattered into the trees, their screams echoing through the valley. One by one, the hikers succumbed to the elements, their bodies frozen in grotesque positions. But something more sinister had happened. Mutilations, radiation burns, and inexplicable injuries told a darker tale. Eyes gouged out, tongues ripped from mouths, skin peeled from bone. The Dyatlov Pass had claimed more than just their lives. The investigation was a mess of contradictions and cover-ups. In the end, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most bizarre and terrifying unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. The 9 hikers' mutilated bodies were buried in a mass grave, their fate sealed by the unforgiving Ural Mountains, but their ghosts are said to still linger to this day. On a chilly August night in 1977, the Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope picked up a signal from the depths of space that would haunt humanity forever. The powerful narrowband transmission lasted a mere 72 seconds, but its implications were horrifying. Had the wow signal, as it came to be known, originated from an otherworldly intelligence? A message from the void beckoning us to the abyss. The astronomers on duty that fateful evening vanished without a trace, their fate forever shrouded in mystery. In the following decades, expeditions were mounted to the site only to end in unspeakable tragedy. Those who dare investigate the wow signal were consumed by madness. Their bodies found contorted in impossible shapes, their eyes gouged out, and their tongues ripped from their mouths. The signal itself was never detected again, despite countless attempts. Some say it was a one-time transmission, a warning from beyond the veil, a harbinger of humanity's impending doom. Others believe the wow signal still echoes through the cosmos, a siren's call luring the unwary to their doom. So the next time you gaze at the stars, remember the wow signal and pray that the cosmic horrors that spawned it remain forever silent. Amelia Earhart is one of the most famous names in aviation, inspiring many movies, books, and plays. Born in 1897 in Kansas, Earhart became famous for her incredible achievements as a female pilot. Back then, being a woman and a pilot was like trying to fly with a boulder tied to your ankle. Even her family told her to give up her dreams of flying. But Amelia, like a bird determined to touch the sky, broke many records and was the first female pilot to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Her accomplishments were legendary, but it was her mysterious disappearance that turned her into an enduring enigma. In 1937, Amelia and her navigator, Fred Noonan, took off from Oakland, California on a daring global flight. They flew 22,000 miles and had just 7,000 miles left to reach home when they stopped in Lae, New Guinea. Like a plot twist in a thriller, their journey took a dark turn when they set off for Howland Island to refuel. Bad weather, radio problems, and low fuel turned the odds against them. They vanished without a trace, leading to the most expensive air and sea search in American history. But it was like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sadly, Amelia was declared dead on January 5, 1939. The U.S. government concluded that Amelia and Fred likely ran out of fuel and crashed into the vast, unforgiving ocean. Yet, what happened afterward is still shrouded in mystery, like a fog that never lifts. Some believe she was a spy captured by the Japanese, while others think she and Fred survived on a deserted island. Niku Maruru, where some relics were found. None of these theories have been proven, leaving Amelia's disappearance one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. The Hinterkaifeck murders is an unsolved mystery from 1922, where 6 people were horrifically killed on a small farm in Bavaria, Germany. The case remains a dark enigma, with the killer never caught and the reasons for the murders forever buried in the shadows. On March 31, 1922, the Gruber family and their maid were savagely killed at their farm. Days passed without anyone seeing the family, so a worried neighbor went to check and found a gruesome scene in the barn. It was like stepping into a nightmare. Andreas, Kazelia, Victoria, and Kazelia Gabriel were found stacked like macabre puzzle pieces. They had been brutally bludgeoned with what might have been a pickaxe. The autopsy showed that poor Kazelia Gabriel had lived for hours after the attack, desperately trying to pull her hair out in her agony. Maria Baumgartner, the maid, was found strangled in her room. Little 2-year-old Joseph was discovered in his cot, his life cruelly snuffed out with a blow to the head. Hauntingly, strange footsteps in the attic revealed that the murderer had been lurking there for days before the massacre. The investigation was a twisted game of hide and seek, marred by mistakes and dead ends. Curious onlookers contaminated the crime scene before the police arrived, erasing vital clues. The murderer left no fingerprints, no hints, nothing but terror and confusion. There were no signs of theft or any clear motive, leaving everyone in the dark. Years of investigation turned up nothing but frustration. By 1925, the case was officially closed. The Hinterkaifeck murders still loom large in the annals of German crime history. It's a dark tale of horror that serves as a grim reminder. Sometimes the monsters are real, and they walk among us, unseen in the shadows. Make sure you share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. Thank you for watching.